Good morning and welcome to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. Time is 9:01 on this Tuesday morning, following a number of local and national headlines this morning. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. More schools in the Mid-South are heading into the classroom and welcoming back students this week. This morning, students went to their first day of the school year in West Memphis. Dyer County will also have its first full day today after a half day yesterday. Collierville and Germantown, they head back to class tomorrow. And Bartlett, Lakeland, Fayette County, and Wynne, they will be back in their classrooms on Thursday morning. If you're still in need of school supply help, your family can get ready for the new school year this Saturday at the 5th Annual Armor Up Ministries Back to School Bash. Children can receive free backpacks and school supplies while supplies last. There will also be food, games, and prayer as students prepare to head back to the classroom. The free event will be from 10 to 1 at the Pine Hill Community Center. Tennessee Republican lawmakers are planning new legislation to protect students from sexual misconduct and abuse by educators. Members of the education committees in both the House and the Senate, including Memphis State Representative Mark White, say they plan to crack down on all forms of inappropriate behavior and abuse in schools. The lawmakers haven't spelled out yet how the new laws would work. They say the push comes in response to a Nashville teacher accused of using AI to create inappropriate videos of students. A U.S. congressman is now demanding access to Elon Musk's Memphis data centers. New Jersey Democrat Frank Pallone Jr. sending a letter to SpaceX AI and Musk requesting a tour of the Colossus and Colossus 2 facilities. Pallone says Americans are worried about what the rapid expansion of AI and data centers means for their communities, citing rising electricity costs, power grid concerns, air and water and noise pollution, along with impacts on local jobs and property values. The White House is sitting down with the biggest players in AI today. CNN reporting representatives from OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic are heading to the White House for a briefing focused on the government's framework for future AI reviews. President Trump signing an executive order back in June requiring companies to give the government a 30-day look at their most advanced models before release. The administration says participation is voluntary, though it has used the window to delay or block certain models in the past over safety concerns. Memphis police are sharing a tragic update after a weekend shooting claimed the life of a young child. Investigators say a child was found an unsecured gun and accidentally shot a 5-year-old boy Saturday afternoon. Happened on Innisbrook Drive in Hickory Hill. Officers rushing the 5-year-old to the hospital in critical condition, but he did not survive. Memphis police are now reminding gun owners that an unsecured weapon can have deadly consequences and are offering free gun locks at any Memphis police precinct. Memphis police are investigating an early morning shooting in the Raleigh neighborhood that left a teenager critically injured. Officers responded to the Bluffwood Cove just after 8:10 Monday morning. That's where they found a 17-year-old with a gunshot wound. The team was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. No suspect information has been released. Memphis police say a suspect intentionally rammed 2 squad cars during an early morning chase, leaving 4 officers hurt. It began around 3:55 Monday morning at the Hilton Hotel on Ridge Lake Boulevard. That's where officers were called about a black sedan breaking into cars. The driver struck an occupied squad car upon arrival, then took off, then intentionally backed into a second police vehicle during the chase. The chase ended in North Memphis near Thomas and Corinne, where the car lost a tire and was disabled. All 4 suspects ran but were later caught. 1 officer was hospitalized with non-critical injuries, 3 more treated there at the scene. 2 suspects, a man and a woman, were also taken to the hospital and released. MPD says the case remains under investigation. Shelby County and Collierville firefighters teaming up yesterday afternoon to battle a house fire. It happened in the 7500 block of Easterly Lane. 3 Shelby County engine companies and 1 engine from Collierville Fire attacked the fire, and thankfully no one was hurt. Jury selection is underway in the murder trial of 2 former Shelby County Corrections deputies. Stephen Jones and Courtney Parham each face a second-degree murder charge in the 2022 death of Gershon Freeman. Freeman was in custody when he had an altercation with jailers and was restrained. An autopsy later revealing multiple contusions on his body, a scalp laceration, and a healing stab wound. His death was ruled a homicide. Selecting a jury is proving to be a challenge. Potential jurors have raised concerns about the expected length of the trial and the fact that jurors will be sequestered, meaning they'll be away from home until the trial ends. A Tennessee congressional candidate is facing felony charges this morning after police say he shot up several license plate readers. Adam Harriman faces four counts, of felony vandalism. Investigators say he admitted to shooting 4 cameras in Blount County and Maryville last month, and at least one of them a flock camera. Police say that he's accessed the camera system on church property during a worship service. At 9:07 this morning, the cyclosporiasis outbreak is now claiming lives. Michigan became the first state to report deaths tied to the parasite Monday. 2 people with serious underlying health conditions. The CDC has identified more than 18,000 cases across the country, with investigators tracking several outbreaks, including a major one in the Midwest. Officials say deaths from cyclosporiasis remains unknown. Taylor Farms is now suing the former president of its Tennessee subsidiary for allegedly stealing more than $32 million from the company. Brian Thor led Taylor Farms Tennessee from 2012 through March of this year. The company says an IRS audit last year revealed he secretly placed several family members and personal employees on the payroll. The lawsuit claims they used company money to buy homes in Hawaii and California. The company says Thor confessed and apologized on several occasions. A man serving time for a deadly shooting on Beale Street has lost his appeal. Quavier Rogers is serving 14 years in prison after a jury convicted him of voluntary manslaughter in the 2024 death of Damian Hawkins. Prosecutors say Rogers shot and killed Hawkins, who was trying to break up a fight between Rogers and another person. In his appeal, Rogers argued the evidence against him was insufficient and that his sentence was excessive. A court rejected both claims. Moving over now to Oakland. Oakland has a new police chief. Yesterday, the city swore in Assistant Chief Larry Gaines as its new top cop. Gaines has spent 25 years with the department, starting as one of its first reserve officers and working his way up through the ranks. And that drone delivery future may be coming to your neighborhood sooner than you think. The Walmart on Germantown Parkway in Cordova has filed a permit to launch drone delivery, seeking approval to build a fenced-in drone staging area. This comes after drone company Wing announced it's expanding 30-minute delivery service to Memphis. Bartlett leaders also say Walmart plans to bring drone delivery to the Supercenter on Highway 84. And we now know who will take the stand in the trial in the 1996 killing of rapper Tupac Shakur. Dwayne Davis, who goes by Keffy D, is accused of orchestrating the deadly drive-by shooting. The trial's witness list includes former Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, who was in the car with Shakur when he was shot. Knight is currently serving a 28-year prison sentence on an unrelated charge. Other expected witnesses include members of Shakur's family and a co-author of Davis's book. The trial is scheduled to start on August 10th. Stay with us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. More headlines we're following this morning, including some national stories that impact you. We'll also have a check of weather with First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. Stick with us. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. Time 9:11 on this Tuesday morning, following a number of national headlines for you this morning. Happening today, representatives from several top AI companies will meet at the White House to be briefed on a new framework for how the administration will review frontier AI models. That's before they're released publicly. That's according to two sources familiar with the invitation. The president signed an executive order back in June that would give the government access to the most advanced AI models up to 30 days before they're released to the public. Tuesday's meeting comes on the heels of an expansive open AI cyber attack. The incident is raising some serious security concerns as AI technology advances. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan is looking at what happened, why it's concerning, and what many lawmakers on Capitol Hill want to see changed. Well, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties with that story. Let's move over to our next story in consumer news. A disconnect appears to be emerging in the job market due to artificial intelligence. Companies increasingly want workers to know how to use AI tools, but industry surveys show that many workers don't think they meet those needs just yet. Let's send it over to Michael Yoshida, who has the story. Why am I not hearing anything? Hey, Hannah, could you come in for a second? All these stories don't have sound. None of these packages have sound. Or maybe something's wrong with my IFB. I hear nothing. Yeah, maybe it's my IFB because I don't hear anything.
musical instruments and then come back and join the show so that you can interact as well. So there are a lot of different dynamic elements going on for the jam sesh.
And Miss Natalie, I want to ask you this. Is there something there for the entire family to enjoy? You just mentioned, of course, the hands-on activities, and then you have like the community partners who are there as well. But just talk about how this is meant to spark that creativity, also get you out, but just kind of, engage with people on a different level.
So sorry, didn't hear the sound come through on that one.
Can
But
you
I'll
hear me
just
now?
provide a little more info. You can interact as well. So there are a lot of different dynamic elements going on for the jam sesh.
And Miss Natalie, I want to ask you this. Is there something there for the entire family to enjoy? You just mentioned, of course, the hands-on activities, and then you have like the community partners who are there as well. But just talk about how this is meant to spark that creativity, also get you out, but just kind of, engage with people on a different level.
So sorry, didn't hear the sound come through on that one.
Can
But
you
I'll
hear me
just
now?
provide a little more info about Jam Session in general. So it's going to be $20 for non-members, $15 for members. But I want to reiterate to everyone that the children under 12, all kids under 12, will get in free of admission. And we really highly encourage going ahead and buying tickets ahead of time so that we can get numbers ready and have everything good to go for the crowd that we can expect that night. So anything
Perfect.
like that is available on membg.org.
Perfect. Miss Natalie, can you hear me now?
I sure can.
Perfect. You answered that question perfectly. My last question for you is going to be, why are you encouraging people to come out? There's some people who are like, I need that extra push, but what keeps you coming back? Because when I see you talking about it, you're so excited, so enthusiastic about this.
Well, Memphis is a special city, largely because of our music history and just kind of the role we play in American music history. And I think that it's not only is it a really great way just to be outside, have your kids and family outside and just play outside and kind of really be present, but it's also, I don't know, could inspire the next generation of Memphis musicians. Maybe they come to Fun Studio, play on the marimbas or the drums or the chimes, and it just changes a life or makes a formative memory. So it's just really hard to beat that great feeling and sharing with your community and their families in that way.
Miss Natalie, thank you so much. We're so excited about the Memphis Botanic Garden, my big backyard jam session. We'll have all of this information on our website, Action News 5. And Miss Natalie, thank you so much again. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We were having a few technical difficulties there, but we are back live and in action. So let's talk about some consumer stories that we're following today. Representatives from several AI companies will meet at the White House to be briefed on a new framework for how the administration will review frontier AI models before they're released publicly. That's according to two sources familiar with the invitation. I want to send over to Jen Sullivan, who takes a look at what happened, why it's concerning, and what lawmakers on Capitol Hill say they want to see.
It was supposed to be a contained test on OpenAI models, but the company behind ChatGPT says an ongoing investigation found the test derailed when its AI agents went rogue and gained access to the real internet.
They're extremely intelligent and able to investigate and research how to achieve the task that they're given.
Jeremy Philip Galen is the co-founder of AI cybersecurity company Charlemagne Labs. He says it's important to test AI technology advancements, but they need to be done very carefully. In this particular case, the OpenAI agents hacked AI platform Hugging Face. The agents uncovered leaked usernames and passwords to 4 accounts across multiple online servers and used those credentials to gain access to them, even though OpenAI never told the agents to hack Hugging Face. Basically, instead of just taking the test, it developed a master plan to break out.
This doesn't mean they're operating on their own. It doesn't mean that they're conscious. It just means that they're getting extremely capable. And it's incumbent on the Frontier Labs to tell us, the public and the government, exactly how capable they are.
Several Republican and Democratic lawmakers on Capitol Hill are calling for change.
There's a real push for Congress to keep pace with this rapidly accelerating technology.
A House bill dubbed the AI Kill Switch Act would require developers from the most powerful AI systems to shut down their models if they escape human control.
This is the folks who are sounding the alarm from the inside. And I think we have to take that seriously.
Many members of Congress are also calling for oversight hearings to understand exactly what happened during the cyber attack and what can be done to prevent it from happening again. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Jen, thank you so much. A disconnect appears to be emerging in the job market over artificial intelligence. Companies increasingly want workers to know how to use AI tools, but industry surveys show that many workers don't think they meet those needs just yet. Michael Yoshida joins us with more on the mismatch and what workers can do to close the gap.
Employers are moving quickly on artificial intelligence, but still many workers are feeling like they're having to catch up. So we spoke with several experts about how those in the workforce, as well as job seekers, can better prepare themselves to meet this moment. There's a growing mismatch in the job market over artificial intelligence skills.
There's so much excitement about the potential of AI right now and what it can bring to the workforce, but workers are moving a little bit slower.
Indeed's Priya Rathod says the gap shows up in the company's new survey data. 70% of employers expect workers to use AI tools every day, but only 14% of workers consider themselves skilled enough with AI to use it as a regular part of their workflow.
We need to remember that ChatGPT just launched 4 years ago and Claude Code just launched last February, right? So we have this sector of early adopters, but the vast majority of people are still experimenting with it.
Rathod says companies can't just hand workers AI tools and expect them to figure it out. They need training, clear guardrails, and examples of how AI fits into everyday work. For job seekers, experts say industry-specific training or certifications can help, but so can showing employers how you actually use the technology.
They are wanting their employees to come in with the skills to be able to work alongside AI. The human judgment, the critical thinking, the reasoning, the responsible use.
Students and workers should also consider building a digital AI portfolio, showing not just what they made, but what it accomplished.
They want to see that you can work with it, not that it's just writing an email. Yes, that's great. But I mean, that's not something that's really going to get you noticed into the door in this AI-shaped world.
And it's not just entry-level workers. Indeed's new data shows that managers, they also feel like they're not fully up to speed yet when it comes to using these new artificial intelligence tools. Rathod says this is just another example of how excitement around this new technology is pushing the expectations ahead of reality. In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Michael, thanks so much. A new survey found most Gen Z adults are foregoing regular doctor's appointments as more than 1 in 4 do not have a primary care physician. Medical experts say skipping care now, it could lead to future problems. Marvel Gonzalez breaks down the findings and explains how younger adults can take charge of their health.
Younger adults may be less worried about health risks than older generation, but that doesn't mean Gen Z and millennials are not at risk of developing severe diseases earlier in life. Experts say having annual checkups with a trusted primary care doctor can be life-saving.
More than 1 in 4 young adults don't have a primary care provider, according to a recent national survey by the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. And more than half of those Gen Zers who do skipped their last yearly checkups.
Building these habits now can really reap dividends for like people as they move forward, like opportunities to discuss ways to become healthier, ways to stay healthy, talking about things like mental health.
Experts say skipping doctor visits in early adulthood could have severe consequences, like missed prevention opportunities for diseases.
Can we prevent heart disease well before it happens? Also thinking about things, can we screen for cancers? There is something to the longitudinal nature of like primary care. If you can get to know someone over the course of several years.
36% of Gen Z respondents ages 18 to 29 said immediate care facilities are their first stop for non-emergency medical care.
Urgent care will look at what's today's problem. Like, how do we get you in and out of here, fix the problem, and send you on your way? Primary care is intended to look at your whole health.
While a lack of insurance contributes to skipped care, researchers say the complexity of navigating the healthcare system also plays a role.
Most adults are still learning about how the healthcare system works piece by piece, sometimes in sort of bad surprises on what doesn't work. But it is a process.
Now, accessing primary care is also becoming more difficult. A 2025 U.S. Health Resources and Services Administration projection estimates a shortage of over 70,000 primary care doctors by 2038. In Los Angeles, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
Maribel, thanks so much. Electric muscle stimulation suits are becoming more popular among the health conscious. How does it work? Is it effective? CNN's Antoinette Radford tried it out.
So I saw last week this workout that claims to give you abs in 15 minutes, and obviously I was intrigued. It's something to do with electricity and this like wetsuit looking thing. I found a gym here in Doha where I can go and test it out, so I'm on my way to do that. We'll see what it's about. Hi, Jackie.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I'm Antoinette.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Welcome to Studio 11.
Thanks for having me. This is a cool studio. I'm here to try an EMS suit. That stands for electrical muscle stimulation, and it's all over my feeds.
Okay, I'm about to do this workout.
Before testing this tech, I spoke with a physical therapist to try get an understanding of how electrical muscle stimulation actually works. Essentially, a machine sends electrical impulses through electrodes in the suit, resulting in involuntary muscle contractions. So where do we start today? What are we doing?
Yeah, we're going to start by changing.
All right, big reveal.
Looking good.
I've got the gym top on. Right, what next?
Next, I'm going to prepare the suit for you.
Okay.
We're going to spray it with water, yeah?
Why are we doing that?
It works with electricity, right? So we're going to place water in the electrodes for you to get the electric shock, basically.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So how much water are we talking?
Damp.
Okay. And that's why I'm wearing this, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It needs to be wet for the conduction of energy, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. EMS has been used for fitness since the 70s, but has surged in popularity as people seek out new technology to boost performance.
The technology is used also for recovery for those who have injuries and all. It's amazing for them.
Yeah.
And lately it has become trendy because of the good results that you get, and it's also very effective. All right, so we're gonna wear this like a vest.
Arm in.
Arm in. The other one.
It's wet. Lucky I have this top.
It actually has to be tight.
I saw somewhere that actually this is going to give me abs in 15 minutes. Is that true?
Not really.
Oh.
All set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's go. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Ooh, I can feel that.
3, 2, 1, and rest. Great.
I feel so tired already.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, ready? Ready to jump on the floor?
Okay. Planks are my biggest weakness.
Yes, that's it.
While I enjoyed the workout, not everyone's convinced it's the best tool for training. The tech has long been used in hospitals and medical settings, assisting people with rehabilitation, trapped nerve injuries, and arthritis, among other conditions. But other health experts suggest that outside of a clinical setting, people may get more out of varied exercises like functional strength training or weightlifting.
Last 5 seconds. And 4, 3, 2, and that's it.
Yay! Thanks, Jackie.
You're welcome. You're amazing.
That was
amazing
good.
work. Yes.
You don't expect it to be hard because you're not lifting weights, but it's a really good workout.
Yes, yeah. So people at home who are thinking, yeah, you won't feel it. No, yeah, you do.
Feel it, yeah.
You do feel it, yeah. And that's why it's just 20 minutes, twice per week.
That was a lot harder than I expected, but I feel good. I feel like I've had a really good workout. I think I'll come back and do it again. I quite enjoyed it.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk this morning. We're following a number of weather-related stories. Before we get a check of weather with First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis, anger and heartbreak this morning in Spokane after a man is arrested for intentionally starting the Old Trails fire. Police say the suspect is a convicted killer out of Arizona. We have the raw emotions from families who lost everything.
Oh my God. The Spokane community devastated to learn a man is behind bars, suspected of intentionally sparking what would become the Old Trails fire.
What's the punishment? What could the punishment be? I'm a Christian, and I can't imagine what goes through a person's mind.
Investigators have arrested this 37-year-old man, Aaron Fernacci, on suspicion of first-degree arson. This is a mugshot of the suspect from a previous conviction for manslaughter in Arizona. The suspect was initially detained the day the fire started, but released before investigators later developed enough evidence to make a second arrest, according to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office.
My family barely got out of this alive. Like, we literally left right before we even got the evacuation notice.
Emotions are raw as thousands have been evacuated. Homes in the neighborhood reduced to the foundation.
Kids are probably gonna have to go to counseling for dealing with all that with PTSD. Like, our daughter has anxiety, man, and to find out that, like, somebody started that, like, there's terrible. A lot of families. A teacher that I work with right behind my house lost everything that he had, including his pets, and, like, to know that that all could have been avoided is heartbreaking, man.
Heartbreak as evacuation orders remain in place. Homeowners still waiting to see the damage with their own eyes.
From prison cells to the front lines of the firefight. This morning, we're looking at a local academy that's helping former inmates turn their lives around through a career in public service.
Remember, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's really loud, so you got to be 1-1! 1-1! 1-2!
When Eddie Herrera is not fighting fires for Cal Fire,
nice and loud. And then water coming.
He's training the next generation at the Future Fire Academy. Herrera spent nearly 2 decades in prison. While incarcerated, he became an institutional municipal firefighter. And when he got out, he started working for the state. And now he's giving back.
Fire's in front of you, okay? Keep it right there.
We're allowing individuals to overcome a lot of the trauma they experienced in their lives and redirecting it in a positive way. And what better way is to be in a life of service, and that's what they're doing now.
There's kind of this narrative on folks that come from our background. The thing is, like, we're changing it.
Anthony Pedro started the Future Fire Academy. He spent 9 years behind bars, but ultimately turned his life around becoming a firefighter. Pedro devotes his time to help others like him find a pathway into the fire service.
Maybe folks that normally wouldn't have access to doing a fire academy, we have grant funding to provide it to them for free. We pay them while they're here training. Everyone's going to leave with a few $1,000s to go home once they graduate.
The Future Fire Academy is teamed up with the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, which has a training center of its own. But by joining forces, fewer people are getting turned away. And they're busy recruiting people in schools, jails, and juvenile halls.
And we started hitting every institution. And we would plant the seed. Hundreds of people have been directly impacted by those recruitment trips.
21-year-old Jason Rojas is one of the people who they approached in juvenile hall, and he just completed the Future Fire Academy along with 18 others. But this isn't the end of the road. All will get the help they need to apply for a job.
It's a new direction I'm heading in life, and I want to be successful and make a change for not just myself, but more importantly my family and those around me.
Thanks for engaging with us and joining us here on the Action News 5 digital desk. I'm First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. A high near 90 degrees today. You could not have asked for a better weather situation for this time of the year, especially for those going back to school. West Memphis head back today. Dyer County went back yesterday for a half day. Today, the first full day. I think dismissal time today should be in good shape here. A lot of sunshine, maybe a few wispy clouds here and there, and a little bit of wildfire smoke sneaking into the skies, but won't be too terribly bad. I think our issues of wildfire smoke may increase a little bit for tomorrow. I think the coverage and the thickness of said wildfire smoke will be a little bit on the hazier side for Germantown, Collierville, Oxford, Dyersburg, Mark Tree, Holly Springs, they'll be heading back to classes for Wednesday, back to the low 90s through the afternoon hours. And again, we'll call it mostly to partly sunny skies just because, again, you're going to have more filtered sunshine because of some of that wildfire smoke sneaking in. Overnight lows will be in the upper 60s and low 70s. By Thursday, as Bartlett, Arlington, Lakeland head back to classes, as well as Tunica County, Wynne and Blytheville, places like Wynne and Blytheville might be able to eke out a couple of isolated showers and rumbles of thunder during the course of the afternoon hours, all amid a mixture of clouds and sunshine. I think those chances are going to be generally on the lower end. No major issues as far as rain is concerned for Thursday. I think our better chances for rain and storms may emerge through parts of your day on Friday. We'll start off with a couple of banks of fog and clouds to kick off your Friday. I think it's a mixture of clouds and sunshine, but after lunchtime, keep an eye to the sky as there could be some showers and thunderstorms beginning to develop in a widely scattered basis. That could slow down some afternoon commutes coming from the schoolhouse back to the house to finish off the work and school week here across the Mid-South. Of course, Fayette County goes back for a full day on Friday. Haywood County goes back for a half day on Friday. So again, we'll have some more districts added to the list going into Friday. Next week will be another tranche of districts going back. Millington heads back on Monday. Tipton County also goes back Monday of next week, and it will be quite toasty by that point in time. We're talking highs that will top out generally in the low to mid 90s. Feels like temperatures will crest closer to 105 to 110. Yet again, as the humidity levels begin to creep back up. Along with the rain chances that we get on Friday, we'll have another chance on Saturday. It looks like the better chances will be earlier in the day. The extended forecast past that, still in the low to mid 90s, taking us throughout the majority of next week, mostly to partly sunny skies. A daily chance for a spotty shower or thunderstorm. No major issues of rain, it seems like, as we stay a little bit on the drier side of things when it comes down to actual appreciable rainfall. Probably our best opportunity for seeing rainfall in the next couple of days will be Friday, Saturday, kind of the speed bump inside of that 7 to 10 day forecast.
Thanks for sticking with us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. It is 9:42 on this Tuesday morning. A new documentary looks at a business that takes in $800 million a year, one colorful box at a time. David Daniel has a preview.
Guess what? It's Girl Scout cookie season!
Cookie Queens follows 4 Girl Scouts through the pressures and pleasures of one cookie-selling season.
You have to set your goals. My sister went to Europe, and that's where I'm going to.
Very good salesperson, Olive.
Oh, I'd like to be a Supreme Court Justice.
Oh.
Every Girl Scout makes a goal and tries to accomplish it or go past it. Ow! My goal is to get strong enough to pull that big wagon. Chugga, 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 chugga,
At first, when the cameras were filming us, I was a little bit nervous, but as soon as they started like filming us more, the nerves just went away. Like they're like family.
I want to be the top seller.
You have to beat your sisters.
The film's not about the parents, they're in it, and of course their storylines are powerful, but always through the girls' point of view. So we stay at the girls' level and the parents come into their world.
I feel like everyone has like a place in the troop. We usually start with a snack and a friendship circle.
We see how love can have all these different flavors, and wanting the best for our children can look different ways.
I met my best friend while selling Girl Scout cookies.
Raiding the freezer for Thin Mints in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
You ready?
Spider-Man Brand New Day made $360 million domestically in its opening weekend without playing in any IMAX theaters, where ticket prices are higher. That's because The Odyssey, the first feature film shot entirely with IMAX cameras, booked all U.S. IMAX theaters for its first 3 weekends. But beginning Thursday, Spidey's Web will include some IMAX theaters, as the two films share the company's large format network. The Zach Brown Band celebrated their record 15th straight sold-out show at Boston's Fenway Park by sending their fans on a cruise. Margaritaville at Sea is sponsoring the band's current tour, and all 35,000-plus fans at Sunday's show received a free cruise for two. Brown's reps tell USA Today it's the biggest audience gift in live entertainment history, valued at about $40 million. Hoping hope floats in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Watch a routine traffic stop turn into a terrifying close call for a Texas cop. The El Paso PD officer was conducting a stop on Interstate 10 when, according to a department Facebook post, an alleged distracted driver failed to control their vehicle and plowed into the stopped car just inches from the officer, pushing the vehicle some 500 feet down the roadway. Both the officer and the struck driver were treated for injuries.
You okay?
But the department said none were life-threatening. They also said the incident is a stark reminder that traffic stops are among the most dangerous parts of an officer's job.
Two-year-old Alexander Petrilli loves playing with his toys. He's so full of energy that you might not notice that he's hooked up to machines and medical equipment.
He was hanging on by a thread.
Alexander was born with a complex form of congenital heart disease, along with a unique complication involving high pressure in his lungs.
We knew something was wrong. They rushed me and him up to NICU, and then boom. I mean, they said a helicopter will be there within 30 minutes. And I'm just like, what is going on?
Alexander's parents, Michael and Kayla, have watched their son grow up in emergency rooms in Florida where they live. From getting a procedure done at just 4 hours old to having open heart surgery at only 6 days old, it's not been an easy journey.
And he's been in and out of the hospital because he's had heart failure this whole time. So any cold or any little bug he gets, takes him down more than just the normal kids.
Late last December, a major medical episode brought Alexander from Florida to Texas Children's Hospital in Houston.
Giving him CPR 4:45 in the morning, and then a medical jet from Texas coming to pick me and him up. I'm in a duffel bag here, and then now 8 months later, we're here. Got your backpack.
The specialized care he's receiving at Texas Children's includes this heart pump that's helping stabilize him. Dr. Hari Tanagutla, a heart failure and transplant cardiologist, is part of the team taking care of Alexander, a team that she says has the expertise very few hospitals in the country have.
It really benefits patients like Alex to be able to come here and be treated with this type of experience.
And while he's doing better, Alexander still needs a new heart and new lungs.
His lung pressures have remained quite high, and so he is now listed for both heart and lung transplant.
But through it all, Alexander has been all smiles.
It sounds like he's been remaining pretty positive throughout this. What's it been like treating him?
It's really a joy to treat Alex. He is one of the brightest kids, always smiling, always waving to the entire staff.
His joy and carefree attitude giving his parents the strength to get through this.
And seeing him overcome every punch, it just got us like stronger, because he see him fighting. We're fighters, so we're gonna fight right next to him.
You feel strong? Strong.
And as they wait to find a donor match, Alexander, his parents, and their whole family have a message for others going through similar struggles.
And it can be really hard, but there'll be better days.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We obviously do our sort of monthly mayoral segments with some of our suburban mayors here in Shelby County. We've done Maureen Frazier, David Parsons, and now next up to bat is our friend, Mayor Mike Palazzolo from the city of Germantown, who 3 weeks ago announced his retirement after 30 years of civil service in many different roles to the city of Germantown. We're happy to have him on and continue to highlight the city of Germantown and what's going on for this month. Mayor Palazzolo, first off, good morning. Let's kind of get off on that foot with the announcement of your retirement. What has it been like to make this announcement and look back on 3 decades of service to the city of Germantown as you get ready for the end of your term in December? Good morning.
Well, good morning, Parker. It's always good to be on Channel 5, and thank you for spotlighting all the suburbs, and thank you for, accenting my 30 years of service here in Germantown. It's been quite a great ride, and our city's in incredibly good shape, great conditions right now, and it was just a good time for me to be able to allow others to step forward and lead, and we have so many things to be proud of: great quality of life, great public safety, great schools, great parks and amenities, and all those are a reflection of so many people that have volunteered in our city. And what encouraged me about our city and its current shape and condition, Parker, is we have a lot of volunteers. We have about 250 that serve on boards and commissions that I once served on over my 30 years. And we have got a great leadership Germantown class. Those applications will be accepted here, I think, in August or September. And so the future is quite bright here in Germantown.
Love that. And we'll finish tooting your horn after this question, but when you look back on those 30 years, what do you see as being some of your crowning achievements in leadership? Obviously, mayor for 12 years, and before that, various roles, alderman, commissioner, as you mentioned. What do you see as some of your crowning achievements in your time with the city?
Well, we all do it together, and so I've had the privilege to be able to help lead. But starting our own school district, doubling our police districts here in the city, starting our own ambulance service, investing millions of dollars into upgrading our park system. All those things have been things that I think all of our citizens can be proud of. And over that time, those are things that we point to. Also, being able to utilize our land appropriately. We're almost built out in our community. We're landlocked, and so we have to be very judicious on how we plan for the future. And I think our city mothers and fathers have done a really good job over the last really 40 years determining what our path will be. So, I feel very, very comfortable in what lies ahead for Germantown.
Well, hopefully that next generation of leadership can rock Searsucker as good as you can, sir. We appreciate that. Let's get into some of the series we've got going on in July. It's hot, but in some days like this that are a little bit cooler, if we can get past the rain, there's some great outdoor opportunities in the city of Germantown. We mentioned Happy Fridays in the Grove. We've got some new murals on the Greenway. I feel like murals are the next fad. It was exposed brick. Now it's murals. We've been talking to other cities that have been doing these mural projects, but let's get into some of the outdoor opportunities that folks kind of exploring out and about on their bike or by foot with their pets in Germantown. There's some great opportunities we've got.
Our park system, we have 30 parks. We have a 15-mile greenway, and on that greenway, as you mentioned, we have launched we have 2 tunnels under our greenway and on Wolf River Boulevard, and one of those has been blessed with public art through our Public Art Commission, and we have murals throughout that pathway that leads you along the Wolf River. It's great for biking and walking and running and jogging. We have recently revamped our C.O. Franklin Park for 2 of the playgrounds there. We have a playground for the littles, and we have a playground for kids 5 to 12, and those were just installed within the last month. C.O. Franklin Park is near our Germantown Charity Horse Show grounds in Old Germantown. Of course, we have our Grove Amphitheater, which is part of GPAC, is open every Friday for happy hour. We have music there in the plaza. Our beverage center is open. They have food trucks. Hundreds of people come to that, even in the hot weather. Also at GPAC this weekend, Parker, we do have the North Mississippi All-Stars are performing Saturday night, and that will be a great show. And I think it's near a sellout. So if you have not secured your tickets, go to GPAC's website, and you can see if there's some available. And so those are some of the outdoor activities in our city.
I love that. No, I got to get on. My wife and I are a big fan of GPAC, and got to hit up the amphitheater now. That sounds like a fun opportunity, especially in the hot weather. Little music, little drink, little food truck. That sounds like a lot of fun. Also, outside, we've got at the end of the month the sidewalk sale. I mean, that's been going on since probably right when you started in office. It's been going on almost 25 years, I believe. Let's let folks know, for those that might be thinking.
Well,
sidewalk sale.
and thank you. One of the things we're noted for is a great retail shopping. We have the only Trader Joe's in the region, the only Apple store. And so please come to our city July 24th through the 26th. 9 of our shopping centers will have all worked together through the Germantown Area Chamber of Commerce. We have sidewalk sales. Yes, this started actually when I was chairman of the Chamber of Commerce in 2000, and we had to take a couple of gap years with COVID, and then so that's why we're not 26 years running on that. So there'll be deals at all these shopping centers. They'll have giveaways, a chance to win prizes. It's perfect, Parker, for getting your back to school shopping started. And so please take advantage of that. That's throughout all of the Central Business District and part of our 4 business nodes in our city. You can go to the Chamber's website and see where those deals are located and what shopping centers are participating.
Will do. No, personally, my wife loves going to Saddle Creek, and we've got a 5-year-old who'll be starting kindergarten, so we're with that back-to-school shopping. So good to know there are some deals out there for parents. So a lot of great stuff happening this July. But I want to go back to just the end of your run in elected office, civil service. You talk about that next generation. You know, what's your message to that younger generation who are beginning to get involved in their community, in their city? This is relevant to Germantown as well as all of our communities in Mid-South. What's your message to encourage folks to get involved in the civil process, whether it's volunteering or running for office? What's your message to aspiring civil servants out there?
Well, we have a program in Germantown called Germantown Volunteer Corps, and so that's through Volunteer Odyssey. So I would just encourage people to take that first step into volunteering. It leads to other leadership opportunities, whether it's volunteering at your local school to help out in the PTA organization, coaching a ball club, getting involved at your church. Then consider maybe going through a leadership program. There's a Leadership Memphis, Leadership Germantown, Leadership Collierville, Bartlett. All those groups can help someone fine tune their leadership. And I would just give the message to the younger generation. It's, you know, it may be changing, but find your way to volunteer. And that is the first step in a leadership path. And don't be afraid to start that. That's where people, I never thought I would be a mayor, to be honest with you. But when I went through our leadership training class here in Germantown in '96, it inspired me to take a little bit of an additional step forward. So there's our next future mayors. They're somewhere in our city. And I would encourage those folks to just get involved early and get involved often.
Somewhere out there. I love it. Anything else you'd like to touch on for this upcoming month in the city of Germantown before I let you go?
Oh, just come out. Everyone is welcome in our community. We're a community of kindness, and so please stop into Germantown. We have shopping like you would not believe, and so I wish everyone a great, and healthy, and safe summer. But come visit us in Germantown. Thank you, Parker.
I can attest firsthand. Great place for shopping. Mayor Mike Palazzolo, City of Germantown. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for engaging with us and joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. A high near 90 degrees today. You know, you could not have asked for a better weather situation for this time of the year, especially for those going back to school. West Memphis head back today. Dyer County went back yesterday for a half day. Today, the first full day. And I think dismissal time today should be in good shape here. A lot of sunshine, maybe a few wispy clouds here and there, and a little bit of wildfire smoke sneaking into the skies, but won't be too terribly bad. I think our issues of wildfire smoke may increase a little bit for tomorrow. I think the coverage and the thickness of said wildfire smoke will be a little bit on the hazier side for Germantown, Collierville, Oxford, Dyersburg, Mark Tree, Holly Springs. They'll be heading back to classes for Wednesday, back to the low 90s through the afternoon hours. And again, we'll call it mostly to partly sunny skies just because, again, you're going to have more filtered sunshine because of some of that wildfire smoke sneaking in. Overnight lows will be in the upper 60s and low 70s. By Thursday, as Bartlett, Arlington, Lakeland head back to classes, as well as Tunica County, Wynne and Blytheville. Places like Wynne and Blytheville might be able to eke out a couple of isolated showers and rumbles of thunder during the course of the afternoon hours, all amid a mixture of clouds and sunshine. I think those chances are going to be generally on the lower end. No major issues as far as rain is concerned for Thursday. I think our better chances for rain and storms may emerge through parts of your day on Friday. We'll start off with a couple of banks of fog and clouds to kick off your Friday. I think it's a mixture of clouds and sunshine, but after lunchtime, keep an eye to the sky as there could be some showers and thunderstorms beginning to develop in a widely scattered basis. That could slow down some afternoon commutes coming from the schoolhouse back to the house to finish off the work and school week here across the Mid-South. Of course, Fayette County goes back for a full day on Friday. Haywood County goes back for a half day on Friday. So again, we'll have some more districts added to the list going into Friday. Next week will be another tranche of districts going back. Millington heads back on Monday. Tipton County also goes back Monday of next week, and it will be quite toasty by that point in time. We're talking highs that will top out generally in the low to mid 90s. Feels like temperatures will crest closer to 105 to 110 yet again as the humidity levels begin to creep back up. Along with the rain chances that we get on Friday, we'll have another chance on Saturday. It looks like the better chances will be earlier in the day. The extended forecast past that, still in the low to mid 90s, taking us throughout the majority of next week, mostly to partly sunny skies. A daily chance for a spotty shower or thunderstorm. No major issues of rain, it seems like, as we stay a little bit on the drier side of things when it comes down to actual appreciable rainfall. Probably our best opportunity for seeing rainfall in the next couple of days will be Friday, Saturday, kind of the speed bump inside of that 7 to 10 day forecast.
Big plans for us as well.
Fantastic. All right, Mia Harvey with Memphis International. Thanks so much for coming on. We're personally excited. I know Jerry's going to be running in it again. I mentioned it off camera. I'm going to sign up. Very excited. Hopefully the weather's perfect. September seems like that prime running weather. If it cools off just a little bit and gives us sort of that intro into fall. Very excited again to help you promote it, and we hope folks will go on the website and fill that cap out again. Maybe we, make that a precedent. We'll just add 1,000 more for the next year and make it a success for MIMSOR and all the other nonprofits and benefits that Memphis International does in the community. Thanks again for coming on.
Thanks, Parker. Sounds like you want to be an MC as well, so I'll get with you after the C.
Hey, I won't say no. So thanks again to her and for Memphis International for always being great partners. And so we're very excited to promote that event. And you heard Mia talk about the information on where you can find info. If you don't remember and want to go back and look, we'll obviously have this on our website, actionnews5.com. Click on the Digital Desk tab. We'll have more information.
So it's called the Memphis International Airport Foundation. And so we do a lot of great things in the community. And so the proceeds from this race is what goes to that foundation, where we're able to expand, get middle school and high school students and even college students interested in careers in aviation. We want to strengthen our talent pipeline here in Memphis. We also have an annual art program that this foundation supports, and other community initiatives where in the area.
That's great. And you're 2 steps ahead of me because that was my next question. Obviously, registration has a fee to it, but what is it going toward? Well, it's going to that 501c3 that you mentioned, the art project, helping try and promote aviation, getting students involved in those programs. We've got a few in the area. I know Delta State down in the Delta, they've kind of got a pipeline up here to FedEx. U of M's got kind of a fledgling aviation program, commercial aviation program they're trying to build up a little bit. So it's great that in a place like Memphis where we have FedEx, we'd love to have some locally grown pilots, and this is just one of the ways to try and promote that. So great stuff you're doing in the community.
I'm sorry,
go ahead.
Parker. Also, we the careers in aviation is not always the ones we want to expose them to are not necessarily just like the pilots here, but also we have painters that we expose the careers to as well. And so the painters make sure that all of the markings on the runway with the special reflective paint are in federal guidelines. We have electricians here. We have mechanics who work on they don't necessarily work on airplanes, but work on any vehicles that help to support the operations here at the airport. We have operations duty managers that make sure that the runways are clear and safe and in regulation. So those are some of the careers. We have a K9 unit. We have our own police force here. And so those behind the scenes aviation careers are the ones we really want to connect students to as well. And again, those are middle school students and high school students. We have a program called MIMSOR, and so that is particular to that age group. And we also, one of the schools that we support right here in the community is the Oak Haven Community Schools as well.
MIMSOR, I love that. Thank you for cutting me off because that is so important. Because it's those behind the scenes jobs that people don't traditionally associate with the aviation industry, but the folks who paint the runways, we need safe runways for the planes to land, obviously, and there are people who paint the stripes on there. And I've got actually family who are mechanics over at the hub. So, those are important jobs. Need the planes to work. I've got one friend that works at the new de-icing facility. So, many different, I got some connects over at the airport, but but you're right. It's those behind and it's so important to open that up to students at a young age in high school through MIMSOR and let them know that, hey, these are careers that, the flight industry, especially FedEx, it's sustainable, if you will. So, a stable career there. So, so all of that coming from proceeds in part from this Runway 5K. Where are we now? I know registration just opened up, but are you able to see how many spots we have left? I'd hate to promote this and say, now we're already tapped out at 2,000. So where are we right now? Are you able to see?
We're good. We're at about 500. We do know that
Okay.
as we get closer to the race, people will start signing up. I will say, don't wait till the last minute. Like we are again, and one reason why we have to cap is because, as you can imagine, running in the airport, one of the most secure places. There's a lot of security clearance that has to go on before you can actually come
Sure.
in this area. And so that is one of the big reasons why we have to have everyone signed up prior to the race. So I do want to stress that there is no day of sign up. And again,
Sure.
that is because we have to have special security clearance because of where the race is actually located on the runway.
Very important stuff. Okay, so last questions is sort of the logistics. So don't wait till the last day, but where can folks find sign-up information? How much is registration? What is probably the latest? When's the cutoff date for registration? I think there is a cutoff date so that you don't have those last day sign-ups. So last we'll get to is logistical information. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so you can find information on our website, www.flymemphis.com, and you'll see the Runway 5K kind of button at the top of the website. The last day to sign up is September 13th. Again, we have to get everyone's names in, who will be running, date of birth, all of those things. Another big thing is to make sure that everyone brings their ID day of, because those will be check-in if you're signing up. Again, we've got a few spots available. Also, if anyone is interested in being a corporate sponsor, that would be an awesome opportunity as well. You do get a few registrations depending on what level you sign up for. So that's an awesome opportunity to get involved. Again, the proceeds go to a great cause here. We're really doing some great work behind the scenes here in Memphis and the surrounding community, and we will love to keep this pushing. The biggest thing is that you can find the cost, you can sign up. So we're about $45 now. Since the early bird special is over, if you have a stroller, you want to bring your kids, that'll be available as well. We'll have a few little smaller airplanes that you can go and view as well. We've got the Tennessee
Okay.
National Guard is going to help out, and of course our Purple Promise partners next door, FedEx. They're such a awesome team to work with, and they'll be providing the big planes for us as well.
Fantastic. All right, Mia Harvey with Memphis International. Thanks so much for coming on. We're personally excited. I know Jerry's going to be running in it again. I mentioned it off camera. I'm going to sign up. Very excited. Hopefully the weather's perfect. September seems like that prime running weather. If it cools off just a little bit and gives us sort of that intro into fall. Very excited again to help you promote it, and we hope folks will go on the website and fill that cap out again. Maybe we, make that a precedent. We'll just add 1,000 more for the next year and make it a success for MIMSOR and all the other nonprofits and benefits that Memphis International does in the community. Thanks again for coming on.
Thanks, Parker. Sounds like you want to be an MC as well, so I'll get with you after the C.
Hey,
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. It is 10:17 on this Tuesday morning. I'm Deja Brown. Thanks for sticking with us. We're following a number of local headlines this morning. Let's go tell you the stories that we're following. More schools in the Mid-South will continue to welcome students back this week. This morning, students went to their first day of the school year in West Memphis. Dyer County will also have its first full day today after a half day yesterday. Collierville and Germantown head back tomorrow. And Bartlett, Lakeland, Fayette County, and Wynne will be back in their classrooms on Thursday morning. If you're still in need of school supply help, your family can get ready for the new school year this Saturday at the 5th Annual Armor Up Ministries Back to School Bash. Children can receive free backpacks and school supplies while supplies last. There will also be food, games, and prayer as students prepare to head back to the classroom. The event is free and it will be from 10 to 1 at the Pine Hill Community Center. Tennessee Republican lawmakers are planning new legislation to protect students from sexual misconduct and abuse by educators. Members of the education committees in both the House and the Senate, including Memphis State Representative Mark White, say the plan is to crack down on all forms of inappropriate behavior and abuse in schools. The lawmakers haven't spelled out yet how the new laws would work. They say the push comes in response to a Nashville teacher accused of using artificial intelligence to create inappropriate videos of students. And new this morning, we're getting our first concrete look at FedEx's ambitious World Hub expansion. The company filed a building permit yesterday for Project Hercules, a $400 million 5-story automated sorting facility at Memphis International Airport. The facility would cover more than 1.57 million square feet and sit adjacent to FedEx's recently completed sorting center that's connected by an elevated bridge. Action News 5 first reported on the Hercules plans back in January. This permit marks the first time we've seen firm numbers on the project. A U.S. congressman is now demanding access to Elon Musk's Memphis data centers. New Jersey Democrat Frank Pallone Jr. sending a letter to SpaceX AI and Musk requesting a tour of the Colossus and Colossus 2 facilities. Pallone says Americans are worried about what the rapid expansion of AI and data centers means for their communities, citing rising electricity costs, power grid concerns, and air, water, and noise pollution, along with impacts on local jobs and property values. Moving over to the White House this morning, a big sit-down happening with some of the biggest players in artificial intelligence today. CNN reporting representatives from OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic are heading to the White House for a briefing focused on the government's framework for future AI reviews. President Trump signed an executive order back in June requiring companies to give the government a 30-day look at their most advanced models ahead of release. The administration says participation is voluntary, though it has used the window to delay or block certain models in the past over safety concerns. Memphis police are sharing a tragic update after a weekend shooting claimed the life of a young child. Investigators say a child found an unsecured gun and accidentally shot a 5-year-old boy Saturday afternoon. Happened on Innisbrook Drive in Hickory Hill. Officers rushing the 5-year-old to the hospital in critical condition, but he did not survive. Memphis police are now reminding gun owners that an unsecured weapon can have deadly consequences and are offering free gun locks at any Memphis police precinct. Memphis police are investigating an early morning shooting in the Raleigh neighborhood that left a teenager critically injured. Officers responding to Bluffwood Cove just after 8:10 Monday morning, where they found a 17-year-old with a gunshot wound. The teen was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. No suspect information has been released. Memphis police say a suspect intentionally rammed 2 squad cars during an early morning chase, leaving 4 individuals hurt. It began around 3:55 in the morning Monday at the Hilton Hotel on Ridge Lake Boulevard. That's where officers were called about a black sedan breaking into cars. The driver struck an occupied squad car and on arrival then took off and a speed chase started. The chase ended in North Memphis near Thomas and Corinne when that car lost a tire and all 4 suspects ran. They were later caught. 1 officer was hospitalized for his injuries. Firefighters responding to a fire, Shelby County and Collierville teaming up yesterday afternoon to battle a house fire on Easterly Lane. Firefighters responded to the 7500 block there, where they say 3 Shelby County engine companies and 1 from Collierville Fire attacked the fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Jury selection is underway in the murder trial of 2 former Shelby County Corrections deputies. Stephen Jones and Courtney Parham each face a second-degree murder charge in the 2022 death of Gershon Freeman. Freeman was in custody when he had an altercation with jailers and was restrained. An autopsy later revealing multiple contusions on his body, a scalp laceration, and a healing stab wound. His death was ruled a homicide. Selecting a jury is proving to be a challenge, potential jurors raising concerns about the expected length of the trial and the fact that the jurors will be sequestered, meaning they'll be away from home until the trial ends. A Tennessee congressional candidate facing felony charges today after police say he shot up several license plate readers. Adam Heimerman faces 4 counts of felony vandalism. Investigators say he admitted to shooting 4 cameras in Blount County and Maryville last month, at least one of them a flock camera. Police also say Harriman accessed a camera system on church property during a worship service. The cyclosporiasis outbreak is now claiming lives. Michigan became the first state to report deaths tied to the parasite Monday. 2 people with serious underlying health conditions. The CDC has identified more than 18,000 cases across the country, with investigators tracking several outbreaks, including a major one in the Midwest. Officials say deaths from cyclosporiasis remain uncommon. Taylor Farms is now suing the former president of its Tennessee subsidiary for allegedly stealing more than $32 million from the company. Taylor Farms says that Brian Thor led Taylor Farms Tennessee from 2012 through March of this year. The company says an IRS audit last year revealed he secretly placed several family members and personal employees on the payroll. The lawsuit claims they used company money to buy homes in Hawaii and California. The company says Thor confessed and apologized on separate occasions. A man serving time for a deadly shooting on Beale Street has lost his appeal. Quavia Rogers is serving 14 years in prison after a jury convicted him of voluntary manslaughter in the 2024 death of Damian Hawkins. Prosecutors say Rogers shot and killed Hawkins, who was trying to break up a fight between Rogers and another person. In his appeal, Rogers argued the evidence against him was insufficient and that his sentence was excessive. A court rejected both claims. Oakland has a new police chief. Yesterday, the city swore in Assistant Chief Larry Gaines as its new top cop. Gaines has spent 25 years with the department, starting as one of its first reserve officers and working his way up through the ranks. The future of drone delivery may be coming sooner than anticipated to your neighborhood. The Walmart on Germantown Parkway in Cordova filing a permit to launch drone delivery, seeking approval to build a fenced-in drone staging area. This comes after drone company Wing announces expanding 30-minute delivery service to Memphis. Bartlett leaders also say Walmart plans to bring drone delivery to the Supercenter on Highway 64. We now know who will take the stand in the 1996 killing of rapper Tupac Shakur. Dwayne Johnson also goes by Keffi D. He's accused of orchestrating the deadly drive-by shooting. The trial's witness list includes former Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, who was in the car with Shakur when he was shot. Knight is currently serving a 28-year prison sentence on an unrelated charge. Other expected witnesses include members of Shakur's family and a co-author of Davis's book. The trial is scheduled to begin August 10th. Stay with us. We'll have more Action News 5 Digital Desk after the break. Time now is 10:26. Stick with us. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. We're following a viral story this morning. A popular New Orleans hat store owner is about to have a big birthday. He will be 102 years old. And this World War II vet is still in charge of the business that's been in his family since 1894. Rob Mason has the story.
In the first block of St. Charles Avenue off Canal, tradition means everything.
It's been in business in 1800 by the same family, 11 generations.
And the banter is virtually nonstop from a man born as Calvin Coolidge began his first year as president.
I painted every case. I painted every rack twice.
Between Panamas, pork pies, and Stetson hats stands a still feisty living legend.
Told my brother, I said, well, you take care of the money, I'll take care of the front and every other thing. Man, I should have jammed it in my mouth and shut my big mouth.
Sam Meyer, the standard bearer at Meyer the Hatter, turns 102 years old next week. Still running the show at the downtown New Orleans shop he says his grandfather founded in 1894.
All this is done by hand. Then they had to hand make the tickets to go in the hats. I don't know how in the hell you could do all this.
Sam's been selling hats here for 80 years, stepping into the family business after serving in World War II. He was a fighter plane weapons specialist who helped establish one of the first airfields in France after D-Day.
I was on the first American airstrip in Normandy. Here it is.
Since then, he's catered to thousands of customers from all walks of life, including celebrities like Cyril Neville, Reggie Jackson, and Fats Domino.
He told me, he said, Sam, every time I take my hat off, the people steal them. Every time. I can't keep a hat.
But of all the memories he holds dear, the dearest belongs to his late wife, Marcelle, who passed away 2 years ago after 63 years of marriage.
Côte d'Azur, the Blue Coast.
Marcelle moved to New Orleans from Nice, France, to help Sam run the family business, and she was at his side from 1959 to 2024.
My little life is just so different now that little lady's not here.
Sam Meyer has thousands of stories after decades of involvement here at Meyer the Hatter. He helped build the shelves. He's talked to thousands of customers. He's even helped design some of these hats.
I did. This is one they made for me, and they call it Gulfport because there's a beach over there.
It's clear that a healthy attitude has helped Meyer live a long life, but he feels strongly that doctors have also made a difference. What's the secret to your longevity?
My third pacemaker here.
And Sam's sons and grandsons continue to carry the torch.
A lot of customers come by perennially. You know, they like to stop in when they come to New Orleans and come see us and see my dad, Sam, of course, and say hello and buy a hat from us.
Hats may come and caps may go, but Sam Meyer the Hatter plans to stick around for a while. Sam, how many more years do you want to keep selling hats?
Well, what have I got to do?
Sam Meyer's birthday is August 6th. He'll be honored at the National World War II Museum that morning, then celebrate with cake and soft drinks at where else? The hat shop that bears a family name.
This is my favorite. I've worn this all of my life.
Such a wonderful story there. Voters are heading to the polls for primaries in a handful of states today, along with selecting candidates for the midterms in November. Some of these races could also signal what direction the parties are moving. NBC's Shaquille Brewster has more.
Massive political test unfolding nationwide, with primary voters headed to the polls in 5 different states that could help determine the future direction of the Democratic Party. One of the most closely watched contests here in Michigan, with 4-term Congresswoman Haley Stevens taking on progressive Abdul El-Sayed in what's become the Dems' most expensive Senate primary race ever. More than $63 million spent on TV ads supporting Stevens, with about half of those ads coming from a super PAC aligned with the pro-Israel group AIPAC.
Haley Stevens, a proven fighter for Michigan.
Stevens is campaigning as a moderate with the support of many in the party establishment, including Senator Chuck Schumer and Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
People are talking about my style and approaches, but I win for my state.
But she's facing a tough political battle from El-Sayed, who pitches himself as a political outsider who supports Medicare for all, abolishing ICE, and ending military aid to Israel. El Sayed campaigning with prominent progressives in the closing weeks, including Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
We want to get money out of politics, put money in your pocket, pass Medicare for all, because it just shouldn't be this hard to get by.
The winner set to face Trump-endorsed Congressman Mike Rogers.
Republicans are making life more affordable.
In a November showdown for a seat currently held by a Democrat. It's a must-win for Democrats hoping to flip the Senate. From the White House, President Trump attacking both Democratic candidates.
But you have a communist versus a socialist. That's the way I look at it.
A sea of panic. That's how one diner at an In-N-Out in Twin Falls described the immediate aftermath after a gunman opened fire at the restaurant, killing 3 people, leaving 7 others hurt. Glenn Kirby, a pastor, recounting the moments of terror in his own words.
We were just standing at the door talking to the people on our way out as we were just telling them goodbye, just about like this, and thanks, it's really good. Then people started coming out, gun, gun, and that's when everybody ran, including us.
What's happening? What's happening? What happened? What's happening?
Shoot, shoot.
Shoot, go, just go, 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 go.
And that's where we begin to hear the pop, 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 pop of the gun. So we were probably about 15 feet away from the shooter when we ran out of the main entrance of the restaurant.
Oh my gosh. Everybody's running.
We were just in a sea of panic, and there were hundreds of people around there in the restaurant, coming, leaving the restaurant, and so on, literally hundreds of people. And we were just mainly running for our lives, and we could tell by the sound, and some of it was like, not just single shots, like an automatic weapon. But we ran, I think, right across from where he was shooting, where he would have a good shot at the people that were leaving the restaurant. It was very scary, but I was more focused on safety and getting us to a safe place away from there, so didn't have time to really analyze what was happening. It was mainly just get out of there without getting shot. As a pastor, I've had to go through a lot of difficult situations for 60 years, and so I'm kind of programmed and experienced with not overreacting for things. Reality is it takes a while to recover from something like this. We remember Columbine. It's easily a word that we understand, and that's been, I don't know how long, 25, 30, 40 years, a long time ago. And they're still known as that even to this day. And I think that it will be known for a long time what happened here. But I think that the town and the character and so on, you have to face reality and keep moving forward and not dwell on negatives. Let it become a positive by how you help people in a tragedy like this.
This morning, a new public defender is now representing Bryan Kohberger as he seeks to overturn his guilty plea in the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. And it all comes as that new Netflix docuseries detailing the investigation is out. Steve, Christy, and Aubrey Goncalves, the family of Kaylee Goncalves, are talking about the series. Take a listen.
This morning, a new attorney now representing Bryan Kohberger as he mounts a long-shot bid to backtrack on his plea deal.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Yes.
Court records now showing a new public defender assigned to Kohberger's case, more than a year after he agreed to a plea deal, admitting in open court to killing 4 University of Idaho students, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle, in their off-campus home. In handwritten documents filed last week, Kohberger now saying he was convinced to falsely confess by coercion, disinformation, false promises, and the withholding of exculpatory evidence. Also accusing his former public defender of ineffective assistance of counsel and suggesting without evidence that his plea deal was not voluntarily entered because of threats asserted by petitioner's legal counsel. Despite the new attorney, legal experts in Idaho say his new efforts are almost certain to fail.
There is no chance that he's going to end up out of custody on this thing. His claim to be an innocent man is far too little against the mound of evidence against him.
But for Kaylee Gonsalvez's sister, who addressed Koberger directly at his sentencing,
I will call you what you are: sociopath, psychopath, murderer.
the filing still comes as a shock to the system.
That fact that someone locked behind bars still has the ability to re-victimize their victims, that's something that isn't just very easy to get over.
Moscow Police Department, you're in here now to help.
Koberger's new legal filing coinciding with the release of Netflix's new 3-part docuseries.
He didn't even have to say their names. That's not enough.
Kaylee's sister Olivia saying the plea wasn't the closure their family needed.
This will never be over for us until the defendant is no longer breathing on this earth.
Thanks for engaging with us and joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. A high near 90 degrees today. You know, you could not have asked for a better weather situation for this time of the year, especially for those going back to school. West Memphis head back today. Dyer County went back yesterday for a half day. Today, the first full day. And I think dismissal time today should be in good shape here. A lot of sunshine, maybe a few wispy clouds here and there, and a little bit of wildfire smoke sneaking into the skies, but won't be too terribly bad. I think our issues of wildfire smoke may increase a little bit for tomorrow. I think the coverage and the thickness of said wildfire smoke will be a little bit on the hazier side for Germantown, Collierville, Oxford, Dyersburg, Mark Tree, Holly Springs. They'll be heading back to classes for Wednesday, back to the low 90s through the afternoon hours. And again, we'll call it mostly to partly sunny skies just because, again, you're going to have more filtered sunshine because of some of that wildfire smoke sneaking in. Overnight lows will be in the upper 60s and low 70s. By Thursday, as Bartlett, Arlington, Lakeland head back to classes, as well as Tunica County, Wynne and Blytheville, places like Wynne and Blytheville might be able to eke out a couple of isolated showers and rumbles of thunder during the course of the afternoon hours, all amid a mixture of clouds and sunshine. I think those chances are going to be generally on the lower end. No major issues as far as rain is concerned for Thursday. I think our better chances for rain and storms may emerge through parts of your day on Friday. We'll start off with a couple of banks of fog and clouds to kick off your Friday. I think it's a mixture of clouds and sunshine, but after lunchtime, keep an eye to the sky as there could be some showers and thunderstorms beginning to develop in a widely scattered basis. That could slow down some afternoon commutes coming from the schoolhouse back to the house to finish off the work and school week here across the Mid-South. Of course, Fayette County goes back for a full day on Friday. Haywood County goes back for a half day on Friday. So again, we'll have some more districts added to the list going into Friday. Next week will be another tranche of districts going back. Millington heads back on Monday. Tipton County also goes back Monday of next week, and it will be quite toasty by that point in time. We're talking highs that will top out generally in the low to mid 90s. Feels like temperatures will crest closer to 105 to 110. Yet again, as the humidity levels begin to creep back up. Along with the rain chances that we get on Friday, we'll have another chance on Saturday. It looks like the better chances will be earlier in the day. The extended forecast past that, still in the low to mid 90s, taking us throughout the majority of next week, mostly to partly sunny skies. A daily chance for a spotty shower or thunderstorm. No major issues of rain, it seems like, as we stay a little bit on the drier side of things when it comes down to actual appreciable rainfall. Probably our best opportunity for seeing rainfall in the next couple of days will be Friday, Saturday, kind of the speed bump inside of that 7 to 10 day forecast.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. Now to the lunar crash landing that will happen overnight, as a big piece of an unnamed SpaceX rocket booster slams into the moon, kicking up a massive lunar dust cloud. Already, astronomers are training their telescopes on the impact zone. NBC's Tom Costello has more.
Magnificent. I got a picture of it with the wide lens.
4 months after the world watched the Artemis II crew's spectacular lunar flyby, a piece of space junk is about to slam into the lunar surface at 5,400 miles per hour.
Ignition and liftoff.
It was January 2025 that a SpaceX rocket sent 2 robotic landers to the moon. Now, as an accidental bonus, the massive rocket booster is getting pulled closer and closer to the moon.
What has happened is essentially a mixture of solar activity and gravity forces have put it on a path towards the moon.
At 2:34 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, that booster will crash into the moon, digging a massive new crater. The expected explosion will send a plume of lunar dirt and dust as high as 60 miles above the lunar surface, which astronomers around the world are eager to examine.
It's a real scientific way of learning more about what the moon's made up of.
Orbiting probes will document the impact, with NASA hoping to learn more about what's under the lunar surface. Artemis 4 astronauts are expected to land on the moon within 2 years. Ultimately, NASA wants to create an Artemis base camp on the moon and use that to go to Mars.
We're learning and building up to doing something extremely hard, being able to operate astronaut crews on a near continuous basis on the lunar surface.
Meanwhile, this upcoming space junk crash underscores a big concern for NASA. There are now more than 130 million pieces of space junk orbiting the Earth. From pieces of rockets and dead satellites to straps and covers, hardware, bolts, and nuts. Last year, a Chinese spaceship with astronauts on board was hit by debris, and all of it poses potential lethal risks to astronauts, other satellites, and humans on Earth as it all re-enters Earth's atmosphere.
Tom, thanks so much. We now turn to the ongoing cyclospora outbreak that the CDC says has sickened thousands of Americans across 45 states so far this summer. Michigan now reporting the first 2 deaths here in the U.S. related to the parasite that causes severe stomach illness. NBC's Ann Thompson has the very latest.
Health officials in Michigan confirming the first 2 deaths related to cyclospora in the U.S. as the CDC and FDA continue to investigate the multi-state outbreak of the parasite they've linked to contaminated iceberg lettuce. Michigan's health department writing that both of the deceased, quote, had significant underlying health conditions that may have been impacted by cyclosporiasis and dehydration. The FDA adding both individuals got sick before Taylor Farms' voluntary recall of iceberg lettuce grown in Mexico on July 17th.
We got a lot of cyclospora outbreak every summer.
In a new interview with USA Today, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. denying that the record number of cyclospora cases are a result of last year's sizable CDC staffing cuts.
No, they had nothing to do with it. We had no cuts in our food surveillance system.
A microscopic parasite that thrives in warm climates, cyclospora causes severe stomach illness, but is rarely deadly, according to health experts.
In the majority of instances, it just makes you miserable for a period of time.
So far this summer, there have been more than 6,700 lab-confirmed cases of cyclosporiasis by the CDC. The agency also saying it's aware of an additional 11,500 unconfirmed cases.
I thought it was the stomach flu, and then I had 3 days where I didn't have any symptoms, and then it came back really badly.
63-year-old Lauren Roan says she's been sick for a month and counting.
Some people may think this is just an illness that's inconvenient and perhaps embarrassing. What would you say to that?
I don't think it's inconvenient at all. I think it's life-threatening.
crayons.
Sixth grader Cayenne Redman is in his bag designing a book bag filled with encouragement for students heading back to school.
Some people don't have the access to it, so they're happy that they can have access to it.
Giving away 200 backpacks filled with school supplies and 50 more of them waitlisted, taking some stress off of parents.
Especially now, like with inflation, everything else is starting to shoot up, so this really helps a lot.
The National Retail Federation reports 61% of parents noticed higher back-to-school prices this year.
The sharpening pencils, they charge more just because they're sharpening. I can sharpen them at home.
Families are going to have to pay a lot more this year for school supplies than they did last year.
Lindsay Owens with Groundwork Collaborative, an economic policy nonprofit, told Scripps News Group this week its analysis shows school supplies should cost 8% more than it did last year. Experts indicating the trade war and Middle Eastern conflict is a contributing factor.
Energy price hikes filter through our economy more broadly in supply costs and transportation costs.
Parents tell me school supply lists go beyond the backpack essentials, just adding to the strain.
Clorox wipes is expensive, but they need it.
It's why positive messages and backpack drives are helping put the power back into learning.
Yesterday I was talking to a young lady who was getting some school supplies, and she was like, everything's just so high, so you got to pick and choose.
Thanks for sticking with us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. Following a news story for you, NBC News has new video of a seaplane with 10 Americans on board crashing into a dock in the Bahamas while trying to take off, and then the people who rushed in to the rescue. NBC's George Solis has the story and those incredible images.
Video of a harrowing seaplane crash in the Caribbean. 10 Americans on board a plane that slammed into a dock in the Bahamas as it was trying to take off.
How do we get out?
In this video, recorded by passenger Eloidis Cantillo, the moment the plane makes impact. It was very disarming, he said. Thank goodness I was wearing my seatbelt. It was very horrible. You can hear the desperation from passengers as alarms blare. Bahamian police say the Cessna was attempting to take off Saturday morning when the plane ran into boat traffic, leading the pilot to change course.
Right place, right time, right people, and the rest was in God's hands.
Nick Pavlakis was there on his boat dealership's customer getaway and among the Good Samaritans that raced into action to save lives. Today, taking us on board the vessel used in the rescue.
Where are the people boarding once they have the opportunity to get to safety?
So some people boarded from the very bow of the boat. Some people boarded back here.
Dramatic images show the plane's wing fully submerged as it began to sink. And this moment as it fully flips upside down.
I pull up to the plane and it's a sound I'll never forget of the glug, glug, glug. And I said, guys, this plane's going down. We got to get everybody off.
10 souls on board.
That's right.
All saved.
All saved.
The company that runs the seaplane, Tropic Ocean Airways, telling NBC News in a statement, the safety of our passengers and crew is always our highest priority, and we are grateful that everyone is safe. Tom?
Thanks for engaging with us and joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. A high near 90 degrees today. You know, you could not have asked for a better weather situation for this time of the year, especially for those going back to school. West Memphis head back today. Dyer County went back yesterday for a half day. Today, the first full day. And I think dismissal time today should be in good shape here. A lot of sunshine, maybe a few wispy clouds here and there, and a little bit of wildfire smoke sneaking into the skies, but won't be too terribly bad. I think our issues of wildfire smoke may increase a little bit for tomorrow. I think the coverage and the thickness of said wildfire smoke will be a little bit on the hazier side for Germantown, Collierville, Oxford, Dyersburg, Mark Tree, Holly Springs. They'll be heading back to classes for Wednesday, back to the low 90s through the afternoon hours. And again, we'll call it mostly to partly sunny skies just because, again, you're going to have more filtered sunshine because of some of that wildfire smoke sneaking in. Overnight lows will be in the upper 60s and low 70s. By Thursday, as Bartlett, Arlington, Lakeland head back to classes as well as